There are many misconceptions about what costs are associated with selling a villa here in Spain. What costs do the buyers pay? What costs do the sellers pay? In this episode of 2 Minute Tuesday with Hondon Valley Homes, we're going to answer all of those questions. So welcome to episode number 87 of 2 Minute Tuesday with Hondon Valley Homes. So in the property sale transaction, we have a buyer and we have a seller. So who pays what? Well, the buyer is the easy bit. We did a video on this a couple of months back explaining all of the costs, and there should be a link in the description. But in summary, the buyers pay the agreed sale price for the villa. They pay their lawyer fees, they pay the notary fees, and they pay the land registry fees, and that's it. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but all of those fees can add up to about 12.5% on top of the sale price, which means that the remaining costs are associated with the vendor. So what are they? Now, as this is 2 Minute Tuesday, we have lots and lots of videos for almost everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description. But in this video, I'm just going to summarise everything for you, and then you can reference to each of the videos as and when required. So in the simplest terms, it's the vendor's responsibility to ensure that the villa is fully legal, with all of the paperwork up to date, all licenses and permissions are correct. Any alterations to the property, additions are approved, and that all the taxes and fees are filed and paid, and if there's any mortgage debts that are declared, and that those are also paid. That there are no issues or infractions with the property. Basically, that the property is free of any issues, either paperwork or fiscal, so that buyers may buy without issues either now or in the future. So what are these fees? Well, you have your estate agency fees. Now, on average, they're about 3%. You need to make sure that you employ a legal and tax registered agency. Then you have your lawyer fees. Now, lawyers, like agents, their fees vary wildly depending on the lawyers and what services they provide. But in general, a lawyer's fee should range from 1 to 2% of the sale price. Now, of course, your lawyer's fees are directly related to how up-to-date your property documentation is. If you have things like pools, garages, additions or alterations that haven't been documented, then these will need to be for the sale, and these will come at a cost. Now, the taxes that you have to pay, we have retention tax. Now, if you're not a Spanish resident, the Spanish tax office are going to retain 3% of the sale price of your property. Now, you should be able to claim it back, but it could be a long wait, 12-18 months. Capital gains tax. Again, depending on your fiscal position, and if you've made a profit on the sale, you may need to pay this tax. We then have the Energy Performance Certificate. Now, this is a documentation called the EPC. Been a legal requirement since June 2013 in Spain. It's a document that basically details the energy requirements for the heating and cooling of your property. The villa will be graded between A and G. There's no pass or fail. However, A is good and G is somewhat less so. It takes an assessor about an hour to complete, costs between 100 to 200 euros depending on the size of your property. Next up we have Plus Valia Tax. We have a video on this, please watch that. This is the most contentious of all of the taxes, and it's too much in this short video, so check out the link for the dedicated video in the description. And those are most of the costs that will be associated with the sale of your property. On the day of completion, your property must be free of any infractions, any debts, any fines, any issues. The buyers are purchasing your property with a clean slate. So you need to make sure that you register your pools, your terraces, outbuildings, walls, anything that's not previously been declared. These need to be registered now with the Catastral and the land registry. If you have a mortgage, then you need to make sure that the lawyer is aware of this, that a settlement figure is obtained. Do you have an up-to-date Certificate of Habitation or a licence of secondary occupation? If not, then again, these need to be obtained, and there will be a small expense in obtaining new ones. It's worth remembering that over time, the laws themselves and the requirements for selling a property change, and unfortunately, some of these come at a cost. Now, as always, I take as much time as possible to sit down with my vendors and talk about the cost of selling a property during the initial consultation. However, it's a good idea to go and see your lawyer prior to selling your property and have your affairs in order so that the sale process can be done with a minimum of fuss and stress for you. So this really brings this episode to a timely end. Please feel free to contact me if you've got any questions, or if you arrange to have a free, no obligation valuation with ourselves of your property. Once again, thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you for the next episode of 2 Minute Tuesday with Hundon Valley Homes. And if you have any questions, please let me know. But for now, adios.